Welcome to another week and welcome to the Leadership Boost. This is your host, Sean Smith, all the way from Pennsylvania. We are talking about leadership again. This is another episode, and I think maybe I'll do two episodes because I missed one yesterday. But we are talking about leadership and taking steps that'll move you in continuous improvement, that you can be the leader that you are called, mandated, that you've been designed to be, to make an impact right now. You know, um, the challenge is that in today's times, can you be a leader? Do you need to be a leader? Why should you be a leader? And the simple fact of the matter is, you were born for such a time as this. This is something I thought about the other day. I thought, why would I end up in 2020 with a global pandemic? Why would I end up with disruption like this? I'm turning 60 in a month or so's time, and I just at 60 years old, who would have imagined? I mean, the world was going so perfectly, stumbling along in its own way, and here we have this crisis in 2020. I just thought 2020 was the year I'm going to just launch out and do something different, and boom, here we go. And I thought, why are we here? Now we're seeing political upheaval. It's just crazy globally what's happening. And this voice inside me said, you were born for such a time as this. That's why you're here. That's why you're on the earth. Don't hide under your covers. Don't bury yourself in the sand. Don't, withdraw into your little closet, your comfortable little closet, and get depressed and think about, oh, how bad the world is. No, you are here for such a time as this. This is your moment. This is your time. This is the time for you to live out everything that's inside of you. For you to discover the best, to find the rest, and begin to develop in that so that you can influence, inspire, and impact the world. That's what I'm here to do, is to inspire you so that you can become more influential and have higher impact, greater impact with better teams, greater performance, right where you are and getting results. I'm not talking about just making money, but I'm talking about you in your business having a greater meaning in your small business as an entrepreneur, or whether you are a manager, supervisor, but that you have greater impact, a greater sense of purpose than you have than just making money or just selling a product or just trying to survive. There's so much more to it than that. So today I thought we'd talk about you and your strategic plan. This sort of came to my mind, and I thought about strategy, and I thought how important it is for everybody to have a strategic kind of direction for their life. We came into 2020, and as I said, I was really looking at getting out and starting to work with companies and organizations just to go start speaking about strategic purpose, strategic planning, strategic communication, and how to develop that and how to build strategic teams. And so I was going to get out and start talking about these things, doing workshops, seminars, etc. But then when I got back from South Africa on the 11th or 12th of January of this year, I began to, just something I like to do is just part of scenario planning, strategic planning, is just to look around and see what's happening geographically and what is happening geopolitically. And I began to see rumblings coming in China. So I began to follow up on it and to see what kind of commentaries, and people started broadcasting. That was before everything got wiped off the internet, but people were putting up videos onto YouTube and giving their point of view on things that was happening, on the research that they were doing. And I began to see something big is coming, and I decided, I'm going to have to rethink what the future is going to look like, because something is happening. And initially I told people, and people didn't believe me. I said something is coming that's going to hit everybody globally, and They didn't believe me, but here we are nonetheless, and we are moving along. We are 6 months into this, or 8 months, 9 months, whatever it is, and now we are in a situation where the world has changed a little bit, and you have to have adapted. Strategic planning is part of that, and you need to be able to read what is necessary and adapt, be flexible, make the right decisions. So strategic planning is your roadmap from struggle to success to significance. It is your roadmap. It's what you have to lay out. You can't just get up every day and say, I'm going to sell this. Is where are you going? Every leader, just like every business or organization or enterprise or ministry, needs a strategic planning process. They need a strategic plan and they need a process. And so the question is, where are you going? And how are you going to get there? It's simple. It's not hard. The complicated part about it is getting everybody to be part of it, contributing to it, and everybody moving in that direction. The hard part is putting in the effort, the dedication, the commitment to actually take time out to think where it's going. It's not just about a plan. It's about a process. It's about how I think. It's about determining what I need to do today to get me there. You have no strategic plan unless you have discovered, defined, developed your strategic purpose. It all starts there. Having a strategic plan is vital. It's important. It's critical, especially in today's changing times. I'm not talking about 10, 20 years. I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 years at the most. You've got to be strategically knowing what are the components that make up who we are and where we are going. But you need to have a strategic purpose. That is the starting point. The starting point is your strategic purpose. You've got to know what your mission, vision, values, and your edge is. You have to have discovered that, defined that, and developed that with clarity so you can communicate it. Strategic planning is worthless unless you have a strategic purpose. Then the other components can be processed so you can discover and implement the actions necessary to take you there. Now you might be sitting at home and going, well, you know what, I'm just trying to eke out a living here. But that's the roadmap that takes you from survival to success to significance. It is a process. It's a strategic process. It's a big word that people throw around a lot, but basically it's a roadmap that you have to define and you have to set. Many people just ignore it and they just bumble along, and in their head they've got a lot of stuff, but they don't map it out with everybody's involvement. Sun Tzu said this. He said, tactics before planning is the noise before defeat. How true that is. You can't just have noise, because then comes defeat. You've got to have tactics that align with a strategic plan. Strategic planning is not just about boardrooms, it's also about your direction, your decisions, and your dedication. Where are you going? What are you going to decide? Where are you going? And what are you going to dedicate your resources, your energies, your focus to, your concentration to? Are they contributing to tomorrow's destiny, to the future of your efforts? It's not just about what will I or we decide and need to do, that we need to do in the future. It's not about just deciding what does the future hold, but it's what do we need to do today for the future. Are we making the decisions? Are we setting the direction? Are we dedicating, putting effort, committing our efforts, our concentration, our focus, our resources to the right thing at the right time that will take us continuously to our strategic purpose? Very important. What do we need to do today for the future? Are you ready for the future? That's the important question. It involves stepping back from day-to-day operations and asking where your leadership or your business is headed and what its priorities should be. Your baseline is strategic purpose. That's where you start. It's a simple exercise, and yet very complex in the sense that It takes effort, it takes dedication, it takes thinking, it takes common sense, it takes some focus to it. So, and we don't like to do that. But without that, you do not know where you are. And if you don't know where you are, you don't know how to get where you're going. You can look at a map and you say, I want to go to New York, but if you don't know where you are, how are you going to choose the right path to get there? You've got to know where you are so you can move in that direction. So you're continuously aligning with that all along the way. Hey, this is Sean. This is the Leadership Boost podcast. And this is another hint, another tip, another point, another principle to help you be more effective and have higher impact as a leader. Until next time, this is me saying over and out.